Hi everyone, this is Tisha Teller from Tisha Teller Studio. I have an incredible story for you today, and trust me, you wouldn't want to miss it. Stay tuned, and while you're watching, don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and share. Let's dive into the story. I'm the first daughter of my mother. The sun shone brightly over the village of Umona, casting long shadows as Angela sat outside her small shop, counting the few naira notes in her hands. Life had not been too easy for her since her husband's passing, but she had managed to raise her two daughters, Dora and Chizzy, the best way she knew. Dora, her second daughter, was a gem in the eyes of many. She was humble, respectful, and always put God first. She never spoke back at elders and carried herself with grace and dignity. Chizzy, the first daughter, was the complete opposite. She was beautiful, no doubt, but she cared for nothing other than wealth and luxury. She looked down on poor people and never thought twice before making reckless decisions. Angela loved both of her daughters, but it was no secret that she leaned more toward Chizzy. Maybe it was because she was her first child, or perhaps because they shared the same love for money and status. One evening, a well-known rich businessman, Chief Obinna, came to their home with his family. He had set his eyes on Dora and was captivated by her beauty and humility. He wanted her as his wife. Angela's heart leaped for joy. This was the kind of blessing she had been praying for, a wealthy son-in-law who would lift her out of poverty. But as fate would have it, Chizzy, in her jealousy and desperation to marry before her younger sister, went behind Dora's back and spoke ill of her to Chief Obinna. "She is not as perfect as she seems," Chizzy whispered into Obinna's ears one evening when they met in secret. "Dora only pretends to be humble. She doesn't even love you. She thinks you're too old and is only considering this marriage because of your money." Obinna, a proud man, was furious. He could never stand the thought of being with a woman who did not truly admire him. Within days, he changed his mind. But what shocked everyone was his next move. "I am no longer interested in Dora," he announced to Angela and her daughters. "I have chosen Chizzy instead." Angela did not even question why. She was too excited that her daughter had captured the attention of a wealthy man. She turned to Dora, her voice sharp. "You see your life. You keep talking about God's direction, but what has it given you? Keep playing with poor men while your sister enjoys life." Dora sighed. "Mama, I am not competing with Chizzy. I only wish she would be careful and ask God for guidance." Angela waved her hand dismissively. "Keep deceiving yourself." Within a month, Chizzy had her traditional and white wedding. It was the talk of the town. The lavishness, the gold decorations, the expensive fabrics, everything screamed wealth. But Dora had a bad feeling. She prayed for her sister in silence. Days after the wedding, a young man, Namdi, came to Angela's shop. He was well dressed but looked like an ordinary man. "Mama, I have come to ask for your daughter's hand in marriage," he said humbly. Angela's excitement faded instantly. "Which daughter?" "Dora," he replied with a smile. Angela scoffed. "And what do you do for a living?" "I am a businessman," he said simply. Angela sized him up and sneered. "You look hungry. My daughter cannot suffer with you." "Mama, please," Dora interjected. "I love him, and he loves me." Angela shook her head. "If that's your choice, go and suffer. Don't call me when hunger finishes you." Dora did not argue. 4 days later, she had a quiet traditional wedding and moved into her husband's home. What she saw when she arrived left her in tears. Her husband's home was a palace, literally. He was a prince. He had only disguised himself to find a woman who would love him for who he was, not for his wealth. The entire household welcomed her with open arms, and Dora's life changed forever. Meanwhile, in Chief Obinna's mansion, Chizzy was living in a nightmare. From the first day of marriage, strange rules were given to her. Never enter the red room, Obinna warned. Never cook for me when you are on your period. Never sleep on my bed without my permission. And you must never step out of the house unless I say so. At first, Chizzy thought it was just the eccentricity of a wealthy man, but soon, she realized something was terribly wrong. She was no longer allowed to contact anyone, not even her mother. Her phone was taken away, and anytime Angela called, Obinna would answer with vague responses before cutting the call. Chizzy was trapped, living in fear, but there was no way to escape. One evening, she overheard a phone call between her husband and another man. The sacrifice must be made by the next full moon, the voice on the other end said. It will be done, Obinna replied coldly. Chizzy's blood ran cold. Sacrifice? What sacrifice? A terrible thought crossed her mind. She was the sacrifice. She remembered the stories she had heard about secret cults and rituals. Suddenly, everything made sense. The wealth, the strange rules, the isolation, it was all part of his plan to offer her as a sacrifice. That night, she tried to run, but Obinna caught her. His face twisted in rage. You dare disobey me, he growled. He locked her in the forbidden red room, where she screamed and cried, but no one came to save her. Days later, Angela tried calling again, but this time, the number was unreachable. She asked around, but no one had seen or heard from Chizzy. Then, one morning, she received an anonymous message. Your daughter is gone. Forever. Angela collapsed, weeping bitterly. Greed had blinded her. She had handed her own daughter over to the devil because of wealth. Meanwhile, Dora's life flourished. She was blessed with 4 obedient children, and she and her husband later moved abroad for their children's education. Angela was left alone with nothing but regrets. She had lost one daughter to greed and had pushed the other one away. She often sat by the roadside, staring into the distance, wondering how different things would have been if she had chosen God over money. Indeed, it is never wise to run ahead of God's plans. What is meant for you will always come at the right time.